Hi guys, so good evening and welcome back to my magical world. I am Frostbite. Today is August. Today is August 28th, Monday. So it's National Heroes Day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Here in the Philippines, it's 11:02 in the evening. Okay, so I'm not feeling well. Um, but we're going to do the reading today. Okay, so um not yet, you know, I don't know, it's just I'm not okay. Like I'm I have colds and my head is not spinning the right way. But we're whatever guys, we're just going to continue. Again, we're on to page 147 and 148 of the book Flow. The last time that I was checking like my previous vlogs, um I think I accidentally filmed like a single page twice. I mean, yeah. So apology for that. And um I will check again. Okay? So I was sick back then also. It's not like a serious sickness, but I'm not feeling okay, you know? So now, okay, we're going to continue. So, life in these alpine village has never been easy. To survive from day to day, each person had to master a very broad range of difficult challenges, ranging from plain hard work to skillful crafts to the preservation and elaboration of a distinctive language of songs, of artworks, of complex traditions. Yet, somehow the culture has evolved in such a way that the people living in it find these tasks enjoyable. Instead of feeling oppressed by the necessity to work hard, they share the opinion of Giliani B, a 74-year-old lady. I am free in my work, because I do whatever I want. If I don't do something today, I will do it tomorrow. I don't have a boss. I am the boss of my own life. I have kept my freedom and have fought for my freedom. So, sounds like an entrepreneur, right? Or someone with like who can run a business actually. Okay? So certainly not all pre-industrial cultures were this idyllic. In many hunting or farming societies, life was harsh, brutish, and short. So in fact, some of the alpine communities not far from Pontrentas were described by foreign travelers of the last century as riddled with hunger, disease, and ignorance. So this is crazy, right? I told you that ignorance is not good. This will bring you harm. Okay, so it's always good to know something, and by having that knowledge, you will be what do you will it's like you will have uh cautions, you'll have a discernment of what is coming, whether it's harmful to you or not. Okay, so always when you are meeting someone, guys, make sure that um just be open, because probably that certain person have something knows something that you don't. Okay, So every other person that we meet every day in our daily life has like that skill. Not only skill, sometimes knowledge that will bring you good. Okay, so take away all only the good. Okay, because there are knowledge that are not meant to be studied because it's dangerous. Okay, so to perfect a lifestyle capable of balancing harmoniously human goals with the resource of the environment is a rare a feat as building one of the great cathedrals that fill. We can't generalize from one successful example to all pre-industrial cultures, but by the same token, even one exception is sufficient to disprove the notion that work must always be less enjoyable than freely chosen leisure. But what about the case of an urban laborer whose work is not so clearly tied to his subsistence? Serafina's attitude, as it happens, is not unique to traditional farming villages. We can occasionally find it around us in the midst of, wait lang guys. Okay, I'm having runny nose. So, in the midst of the turmoils of the industrial age, a good example is the case of Joe Kramer, a man who interviewed in one of our early studies of the flow experience. Okay, Joe was in his early 60s, a welder in a South Chicago plant where not feeling well, guys. Understand that sometimes it's like this, okay? It's a human thing. Railroad cars are assembled. About 200 people work with Joe in three huge dark hangar-like structures where steel plates weighing several tons move around suspended from overhead tracks and are welded amid showers of sparks to the wheelbases of freight cars. In summer, it is an oven. In the winter, the ice and winds of the prairie howl through. The clanging of metal is always so intense that one must shout into a person's ear to make oneself understood. So mahirap yung ganitong work, no? That you have to, you know, uh, you have to intensify your work by shouting to another person just for you to have like a better communication, diba? So Joe came to the United States when he was 5 years old and he left school after 4th grade. He had been working at his plant for over 30 years but never wanted to become a foreman. He declined several promotions, claiming that he liked being a simple welder and felt uncomfortable being anyone's boss. Although he stood on the lowest rung of his hierarchy in the plant, everyone knew Joe and everyone agreed that he was the most important person in the entire factory. So that's the difference, right? When you are actually fueled with passion, diba? In a certain company, in a certain field, industry, association, whatever, guys, whatever circle you are in, if you are so good at what you are doing, you will be, again, one of the most vital, what do you call it, asset of the company. Okay, so make sure that whatever you do in life, guys, in your field, be work hard so you can achieve your excellency. Sometimes really passion is like a natural thing, so you don't have to really exert that effort because it comes naturally, but not everyone is have that kind of drive, but the fire signs does. I know. So the manager started that if he had 5 more people like Joe, his plant would be the most efficient in the business. His fellow workers said that without Joe, they might as well shut down the shop right now. The reason for his fame was simple. Joe had apparently mastered every phase of the plant's operation, and he was now able to take anyone's place in the necessity arose. Moreover, he could fix any broken down piece of machinery, ranging from huge mechanical cranes to tiny electronic monitors. But what astounded people was that Joe not only could perform these tasks but actually enjoyed it when he was called upon to do them. When asked how he had learned to deal with complex engines and instruments without having had any formal training, Joe gave a very disarming answer. Since childhood, he had been fascinated with machinery of every kind. He was especially drawn to anything that wasn't working properly. Amazing, right? So, if you are a man like this, like you love to do the repairs, if you're watching, if you're a man like have this kind of like drive, okay, know that right at this very moment, I'm really proud of you because people like this makes the world basically go round. They love to fix things. We are surrounded by broken stuff. Not only people, okay, like literally like machines and all of that nowadays. So if there's someone who is actually have the knowledge to fix that, so it's really like eye catching and diba? So I'm so proud of you guys. If you are like one of those men that are doing the work without you know without doing the work with the initiative to do that, because it fuels you. Okay, so you are a big help in your company or in this world, diba? Like when my mother toaster like when my mother toasters went on the fritz, I asked myself, if I were the toaster and I didn't work, what would be wrong with me? Then he disassembled the toaster, found a defect, and fixed it. So amazing, right? So ever since, he has used this method of empathic identification to learn about and restore increasingly complex mechanical systems, and the fascination of discovery has never left him. Now close to retirement, Joe still enjoys work every day. Joe is working his entire life in a state of flow, because up until at the moment that he is on his retirement, he's still doing something that he loves, diba? And it's amazing. It's an amazing job. The fascination of discovery has never left him now. I've read that part. Joe still enjoys work every day. So Joe has never been a workaholic completely dependent on the challenges of the factory to feel good about himself. What he did at home was perhaps even more remarkable than his transformation of a mindless routine job into a complex flow producing activity. Joe and his wife live in a modest bungalow on the outskirts of the city. Over the years, they bought up to two vacant lots on either side of their house. On these lots, Joe built an intricate rock garden with terraces, paths, and several hundred flowers and shrubs. While he was installing underground sprinklers, Joe had an idea. What if he had them make rainbows? He looked for sprinkler heads that would produce a fine enough mist for this purpose, but none satisfied him. So he designed one himself and built it on a basement lab. Now, after work, he could sit on the back porch, and by touching one switch, he could activate a dozen sprays that turned into a many small rainbows. So this is actually really amazing. Someone like this is, I consider it extraordinary. So only a few people do this, kasi bilang lang talaga sa kamay ang mga gifted. Okay? Ng this kind of passion and love for a certain work. But there was one problem: Joe's little garden of Eden. Since he worked most day, by the time he got home, the sun was actually too far down the horizon to help him paint the water with strong colors. So Joe went back to the drawing board and came back with an admirable solution. So he found floodlights that contained enough to the sun's spectrum to flow rainbows and installed them inconspicuously around the sprinklers. Okay, so we're done na guys. Okay, about that Joe thing. Bukas naman. So, thank you guys for listening. Medyo not really, 100% okay. But you're still here and thank you for finishing my videos. Okay, so I really appreciate your presence here in my channel. Kaya ang hina ng boses ko ngayon. So, it's okay. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for helping me make this world a better place for all of us and for the future generation. I'll see you again.